What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hope Shot Live. Tonight is a special night. We got one of our very own, Nate. He's gonna celebrating 4 years tonight, so we're gonna do a little evolution of Nate tonight, and super cool. He's a freaking awesome dude. But first, I want you guys to get on these comments, let us know you're here, say what's up. Also, if you can share this live video, because I'm telling you right now, Nate's story is gonna touch somebody tonight. He's going to share a little bit. He doesn't want to take all the time. But he's going to share his story and then maybe get some comments on him. Caesar, will you read or Kelly?
Yes, I have it.
I'm not used to it anymore. You're here.
I'm here, and when I'm here, I always read the clarity statement. I was here last week.
I didn't change your name.
It's okay.
I wasn't here last week.
I know. Now it's up. All right. The Hope Shot clarity statement. We here at the Hope Shot are a group of people in recovery spreading inspiration. We come from all different walks of life and pathways of recovery. Our verbiage may be different at times, but we all have one thing in common: recovery as a lifestyle. We support all pathways of recovery. It doesn't matter how you get from A to Z, just get there. Thank you for being a part of our family.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly.
You're welcome, Justin.
So we got Dustin. What's up, Dustin? And I laughed at this one. He says the intro is kind of trippy. You're definitely supposed to be here.
We're kind of trippy.
Yeah, we kind of like trippy, you know. Let's see. What's up, Jamie? We got my beautiful wife in here.
Where's she at?
In the other room. She's far away. I told her she needs to jump in and say a little bit, so she will. You got Allie says, way to go, Nate. We got Michael in here. What's up, Michael? And we got Lisa, Houston Lisa. What's up, Lisa?
It's my wife right now.
My wife right here.
All right. So again, guys, if you could share this live feed, man, we really appreciate it. Like I said, you never know who's going to touch tonight. But I'm going to get over to Nate.
All right, there I am.
There you are.
Let
me back up. I feel like I'm all up on this business.
You're in the hot seat.
I'm Nathan. I'm a person in long-term recovery. That sounds so cheesy.
Justin's favorite.
Yeah, my sobriety date is June 12th, 2018. And there's Bodie. So anyway, I didn't want to take too much time up, but I do want to just share a little bit about my story. I kind of give you guys the consolidated version, more of the recovery, less of the struggle. So I guess I'll start off by saying, like, if anybody had, I never had any excuse or reason or some catalyst that, ultimately made me turn to substance and that lifestyle. I was raised by two loving parents. I was completely spoiled, had an amazing childhood. I was an athlete. I had straight A's. I was in gifted courses, AP courses until high school wasn't cool anymore. I was very popular, had a bunch of friends. Seemingly had my stuff together, right? So, but you hear it all the time. In all that, I just was never quite right. I in a crowd of people, I was just off, man. I felt like I was always seeking, searching, not quite fitting in, and just missing something. I had a hole in me and a void, and I didn't know what that meant. I know what it means today, but I didn't know then. And so I filled it with overachieving and doing great in school and doing great in athletes. I was a second degree black belt, state champion in karate, and then that got uncool. So I switched to basketball, and I was, on my way in that sport. And yeah, so the summer of eighth grade, I had an older brother, which is a big part of my story because I was always surrounded by older people, the older crowd. I always just wanted to fit in with them and be around my brother, tag along as much as I could. And so anyway, yeah, in eighth grade, I was going to these big parties, like high school parties, and there was always people at my house. We lived right by the high school, so it was like kind of a central location for, all the misfits, which my parents always lovingly took care of and housed, when they were kicked out or homeless or in trouble. And so yeah, I was just exposed to a lot at a young age. And yeah, summer of eighth grade, I was like curious, man. I smoked pot for the first time, and right away, man, something changed. And my freshman year, more of the same, just kind of like starting to, delve into, the pot and acid scene. And um, yeah, and for me, there was like immediate consequences. I started losing stuff right away. I got kicked off the I didn't get kicked off. I walked off the basketball court in the middle of a game because I didn't get my way with something. Um, I my grades started slipping, and ultimately, like I was kicked out of school, before the end of my freshman year, and everything else became secondary. I just wanted to be at the party. I wanted to be, I wanted to be with the people that had the stuff, and I just wanted to be involved in that. And for once, man, I just felt like this was my scene. There was that was a big electronic music revolution at this time, and I was really heavy into that scene and the ecstasy. And I'll be perfectly honest, for those first couple of years, it was fun, and it was fun. But the downside of that is that I chased those 2 years for the rest of my 20 plus years of active using. And yeah, so like I guess at a young age, I started trying the heavier stuff. Like I said, I was hanging out with a really older crowd, and plugged in with some really serious people that were doing serious things. And which is not to say I was some baller or anything, but I just knew the right people that allowed me to have access to things that no 16-year-old should ever have access to. And yeah, when I was 16, I just got my license. That was the first time I was introduced to heroin. And right then, the entire trajectory of my whole life changed, because yeah, I was just sold, man. That was my answer. That was my solution. The other stuff was fun and it was a party and everything, but that stuff really filled me up, and gave me everything that I was seeking, which was really just to be numb and not have to deal with anything that I was experiencing emotionally or mentally and stuff like that. So yeah, and so overdosed, at an early age. Parents had to kick down the bathroom door. I was in a coma for a couple days. They thought I was going to die. That was my first treatment. And more of the same. That same story right there, just over and over again until I was of age. And then when I was of age, I was able to be incarcerated, like real life incarcerated. As soon as I turned 18, I spent a year in the county jail. I got out when I was 19, and shortly after, I went to prison for the first time, thus starting like a perpetual cycle of going to prison, not doing anything to change my ways or my patterns, or really just partying even more in there, which is what I did. I got loaded every day. I was in prison almost. I hustled. I did whatever I had to do to keep the party going, basically. And so there's, it's no military secret, I get out and I continue, perpetuating these same behaviors. And, and through all these years, man, ultimately I went to prison 5 times. I spent over 14 years in prison altogether. And all through these years, here's my poor mom and dad and my brother just trying everything in their power to reach me, to help me, and they just, and people would say, oh, you enable him, but that's all they knew how to do was give me unconditional love. And through that unconditional love, I manipulated them, I took advantage of them, I stole from them, I did everything, a heroin addict, crack addict, pill addict does to anybody that's close that aren't going to give them consequences. I continue to use the shit out of them because it was safe, and so yeah, and what that did was, from an early age, I started experiencing the guilt and the shame and the regret from hurting those you love, from all these missed opportunities, from, just continuously disappointing my family and my peers and my friends that still had hope of me turning things around, So I just started having this weight and this darkness just settled in, and the only way really to combat that was with more substance, and but for some reason I just couldn't connect the dots that every time I would get loaded I would end up in prison. I just thought, like, truly thought that this was the way life was, and I also kind of accepted the fact that this is who I was, and not only accepted it, but that I deserved it for what I had done, for who I was. And I just felt unforgiven, and there was no way that, redemption wasn't in the cards for me. I was going to die of an overdose, or I was going to end up in prison for the rest of my life. And that's how I lived my life for so many years, But I will say, even in the darkest of days and nights, that my parents, that unconditional love acted as like a beacon. So no matter what, no matter how far down I went, how low I was, there I could always return, to that safe place and not be judged, be fed, be you know treated like a human being, which I had no concept of what that meant anymore. I was so demoralized and living in shame, from all these prison sentences, man. Not only do the guards talk to you a certain way, but we talk to each other a certain way. I just was like, just completely sold that I was a loser, that this was my lot in life, and let me try to be the best at that, And yeah, so my last, I'm gonna kind of fast forward and just, I'm gonna like kind of emphasize my last 3 years out there. Before I went to prison the last time, my mom, she was diagnosed with cancer. And me being the selfish prick I am, I used that as another excuse to go on a run after I had been sober for a spell. I had gone up to Chicago to, it's Florida. I'm going to go to Chicago, the heroin capital of the United States, and get sober, and of course I didn't. And, but I did meet a girl up there and fell in love, and ended up cleaning up for a while, and ended up, I caught some charges though when I first got there. So I ultimately went to prison. I stayed sober through the whole prison bid, came home, was sober for a little bit. My mom got diagnosed with cancer. That was like, there it was. So I'm like, okay, now I can do what I really want to do, which is get loaded. So I used that as an excuse, and I did what I did. So yeah, so this prison bid from 2012 to 2015, I was at the most craziest institution I've ever been to in my life. You know, there was, you know, heroin, there was meth, there was Molly, there was Xanax, acid, everything was there, you know, and I just went completely in and did my thing, and I hooked up with some people that were making some moves, so I had like ultimate access to like some really gnarly stuff. And yeah, man. And so when I got out, I just went right back to it, 2015. And those 3 years were the darkest years of my entire existence, because somehow I managed to stay out. I did catch a charge that ultimately would lead me to treatment in the future, but I bonded out right away. So I was, and that was in 2016. So I bonded out, and now I'm fighting charges. And for a guy like me that has no solution, that is a very precarious position to be in. When you're bonded out of jail, you're like, okay, because every experience that I've had is like I'm going to prison again. So I am going to do whatever the fuck I want because I'm going to prison anyway. You know, and that's the mentality that I had. So and that's what I did. Somehow during that time, I got a girl pregnant. I had a beautiful baby daughter, Sophia, and you know, even that couldn't curb my appetite and my addiction. It just could not. I couldn't even stop for her, you know. And now, mind you, I was just, you know, shooting up the drugs that the doctor prescribed me, but I'm still shooting dope, you know, with my baby girl right there next to me, you know. And you know, my family had it. My mom and dad were, you know, like supportive like always, but my brother he was just done with me. And so anyway, some chain of events were set in motion, and DCF was called on us. And yeah, so they came in and they drug tested us. And you know, we kind of tricked them with some other pee, you know, and then that worked. But then they came back. And yeah, so I'm holding my daughter as these people are taking her out of my hands, you know. And you would think, like, you know, that would, you know, snap me out of it, but instead I turned to what I knew, and that was just, you know, seeking oblivion through substance. And so we had bought this townhouse for, you know, me and the mom and my daughter. And so we ultimately still moved in there. It was a 2-story, you know, with 2 bedrooms upstairs and a living room downstairs and a bathroom. And at the you know, and we moved in there, and we never even ended up living upstairs. The only furniture upstairs was an empty crib. That was the only furniture that was upstairs. We went downstairs, we put a mattress down on the ground, threw a TV against the wall, and proceeded to just really just kill ourselves, man. That was like the most decadent and debaucherous time that I ever experienced. I ended up in the hospital 4 times from an overdose. I was brought back by friends like 5 other times because we got our hands on some Narcan. And just I started to get into, you know, when I ran out of the dope and the meth was so cheap, I started to get into that heavy because I didn't do the Suboxone game because I didn't want to, in case, you know, I scored, I didn't want it to be messed up. So I would just get on this meth, and that shit was just, man, it would spin me so far out of control, like psychotic hallucinations, visual, audio, like everything. I was just completely disassociated from reality. In the meantime, my mom's health is ailing. Johnny tried to come and save me. I'll tell you a little funny anecdote about that, is that literally my drug dealer and Johnny communicated to set me up to get me help. You know, I'm spending a lot of money with this guy too, you know, but he's like, Nate, man, you are a fucking mess, dude. You need help. You know, that's my drug dealer telling me this, you know? And yeah, so they got me up there, but I was like so far gone, man, hallucinating, talking to people that weren't there, you know, just and it didn't work out. And so yeah, those last 3 years, so a thing happened. Um, I ended up in the hospital again, and when I got out, I came back to my family's house, and I went on this like crazy like 2-3 week meth heroin run, and I had missed a court date in that time. So when I finally came back to the house and fell asleep, and that next morning the cops were there. They're going to arrest me for failure to appear, and they revoked my bond. And I remember walking out of my house, and my mom looked me dead in the eyes, and she's like, "Nate, this is it, right? You're done." I'm like, "Mom, this is it," you know. And I meant it for the first time, mind, body, and soul, like whatever I had left of a soul at that time. And unfortunately, that was the last time I ever saw my mom. You know, more on that in a second. So yeah, so I get to the county. On the way to the county jail, the officer's like, "Man, you look fucked up, dude. Are you all right? Do we need to take you to a hospital first?" I'm like, "No, just take me to jail, please. Let's get this over with." And the nurse is all, you want to get on the detox protocol? And I'm like, "No, you know, I want to feel this, dude." And feel it I did. Because I was coming off Xanax, I was coming off, you know, the heroin, and then I was coming off the meth. So I was just like a mess. I didn't sleep for about a month. I started eating maybe like the second month in. I started holding down food and catching some sleep and stuff. But one thing I did start doing as soon as I got there is I put in a request for an AA book, and then I also put I started praying. And you know, mind you, I'm a fairly intelligent guy. You know, I understand the concept of God, but I had no concept of what God was or what that meant in my life, you know. So I was just asking for help. I'm like, "Please help me." That's all I said. You know, that's all I really knew how to say at that time. And so sorry, Bodie wants to be involved in the story. So some really crazy things started happening. I'm going back and forth to court. They're like, prison, prison, prison. You're 5 years. You're going to prison. You know, no matter what. Like, that was dead set on prison. So like a couple months into the being in the county jail, they say, "Nathan, Canty, you have a visitor." So I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Who the fuck's coming to visit me?" Because I like maybe a few like 10-15 years ago in the county jail, I would get tons of visitors, but like I was at no more visitors for Nate on this one. You know, last prison bid, no visitors, not my whole time. You know, like nobody came and saw me. They're like, "You're where you need to be. We feel safe out here without you here, and you just hang out there, and we'll hang out here," type deal. No, but so I go in there, and there's some fucking dude. I'm like, "Yes, sir. How can I help you?" I think it's like immediately look, because he looks like the police officer. So I'm like, I think I have more charges, you know, which I probably should have, but fortunately that wasn't it. And he's like, "My name is Billy Majors." He's like, "I want to talk to you about getting into treatment." I'm like, "I don't know who you are." He's like, "Listen, we like 4 or 5 months ago, we sat down and had like a 3-4 hour interview. Like, you told me your life story. Like, I'm here to help you." And I'm like, "Man, I have zero recollection of who you are, man." He's like, "I am the drug liaison or the treatment." He was like the middleman, the one that helped people get the services that for me personally, I truly needed all those years that I was in prison, because I was never a criminal. You know, I was just a guy that ran out of drugs, man, and had no other options. I'm not I'm not breaking into people's houses. I'm stealing from stores and stuff. You know, just trying to, you know, get well. You know, and anyway, so we sat and talked for like a good hour or two, and after next time I went to court, he was in court, and the public defender that was so like, you're done, you're going to prison, he gets fired. I get this other public defender that is cool with the state attorney somehow, and now all of a sudden everything's changing, and now they're talking about, we're going to give you treatment at the Phoenix House and give you some probation to follow. And my public defender is looking at my record. He's like, I highly recommend that you do not take probation. He goes, you will not finish it. You have never finished anything like that. And I'm like, listen, this time is different. And I meant it. And he saw that I meant it. So, yeah, about 7 months in, it was November, maybe a couple weeks before Thanksgiving. And, yeah, this judge, man, that had sent me to prison like so many times before, gave me an opportunity and said, you know, we're gonna give you a chance, Nate, you know. And I go back to my dorm, and I just knew, you know, something. In those 7 months, I've been communicating with Johnny. He was like really trying to get me out to Ocala, and you know, I was really into my books. I was reading a lot of, you know, different literature and writing a lot. And something had shifted, man. And instead of like when I used to think the police were against me, I started taking some responsibility finally. And it made everything so much easier. I knew that I was exactly where I was supposed to be because of what I did. You know, I didn't blame anybody. I didn't blame my family. I didn't blame the system. I didn't blame the judge. Nobody. I knew that this was a direct consequence of my actions, and this is where I belong. That's exactly where I deserve to be, and I was okay with it. I was more free in that county jail that I had been in 20 years, in or out of prison. And so when they gave me treatment, I was so grateful and ready to, you know, take full advantage of that opportunity. And, you know, another little God thing that happened is, so I don't know if anybody's not familiar with how our lovely judicial system works here in Pasco County. When you get sentenced to treatment, you usually wait. Sometimes you can wait up to a year, you know, sometimes 2-3 months if you're lucky. Sometimes, you know, 6 months, but like the norm is like at least 3 to 6 months, and sometimes a lot longer. I waited 7 days, you know. They called me 7 days later to the day after my court date, and they're like, pack it up. I'm thinking I'm going to another county for more charges. I'm like, where am I going? What do you mean? ATW, which means all the way. Like, I'm like, and they're like, you're going to treatment. I'm like, whoa. And yeah, man, I was, and what was cool at that time, I knew it wasn't luck. I knew there was something otherworldly working in my life. You know, I was beginning to see how God was working in my life, you know. And yeah, so thus started my treatment. And I got to Ocala. You know, Johnny came and blessed me with some clothes and a fresh pair of Air Max. I felt like I was that dude in treatment, you know. Yeah, and I just I showed up. You know, I did everything they asked of me and then some. I kept to myself, kind of. I got a couple friends in there, but I really plugged in immediately to the recovery community in Ocala. I got a sponsor right away. I got through the steps right away. And there's something to be said, and we say it on here all the time, but I'll say it again because it's important to me, about connecting right when you get into this deal. Because I feel that connection is what really solidified and gave me the foundation for which I stand on today, because I saw how recovery not only had worked, but was working in their life, you know. And I'm not talking, even though the material stuff was pretty appealing at that time, because I'm a shallow and egotistical fellow, you know, but what was really attractive was the way they carried themselves, you know, how at peace they were, and how they spoke with integrity, and how they didn't talk shit about people, and how they were so humble and grateful, and were able to articulate that in a way that, you know, I understood that, because this is how I always wanted to be, but I just thought it was not cool. You know, I'm a sensitive bastard, man. So when I seen like friends of mine getting, you know, getting vulnerable and crying, and you know, like, I'm like, holy shit, man. There's men that can cry and not be made fun of, you know, and stuff like, you know, it was like I had found my circle, I had found my people, and that right there really sold me on the deal, man. I'm like, man, listen, and let me just take a minute to really express like the importance of seeing Johnny. Johnny and I were in the gutter together, like in real life. Like we were. Dad, please. Sorry. Yeah. Johnny and I were like in the gutter, like trailer park. What, you know, you fill in the spaces, man. We did some dirt. We were not pillars of society. And anyway, but to see how this program worked in his life. Hold on.
It's so usually us. It's us every time. So it's all good.
It's real life, bro. We got dogs and dads, and it's all good. And kids.
Okay, so
You're supposed to say this short break is brought to you by Bodie.
Woosah.
So anyway, yeah, to see how this program had completely transformed my friend's life. Get out of there. To completely transform my friend's life showed me that it was possible to recover. You know, if he could do it, I could do it. And that therein lies the power of attraction of this deal. You know, like when and the depth and weight that, you know, somebody that's been there can carry to somebody that's still out there. You know, especially when they're familiar with them and or they have history. So yeah, so like I saw it working in Johnny's life, and I saw the people that Johnny was surrounded by, and these were people that were successful, man. Not just successful, you know, successful in business, successful in life, successful in relationships, things that were completely foreign to me. I had literally zero frame of reference as how to navigate as an adult male in society. My mom had always paid all my bills. They always gave me phones. They always gave me cars. I had everything given to me. You know, I never worked for nothing. I never held a job more than 2 weeks. I used and I abused everybody around me. My relationships were solely based on what they could provide me, you know. And to be perfectly honest with you, at the end, like, I didn't care about a relationship. I didn't care about anything. All I cared about was how I was going to get well, and how often and I could do that, you know. So anyway, to see these people that were just like me. You know, I heard them telling their stories. They shared them personally with me, and I knew that they had been where I've been and seen what I've seen. You know, so and to see them just living a productive life, that was what really sold me on this program, and what that also afforded me was I now was surrounded with some people that were able to plug me in and show me how to connect to this power, and whatever that power is to you, that is great. I don't care what it is, you know, just access it, because this power is available to anybody that truly seeks it out. And that's what happened, man. I got working through these steps. I had a spiritual, you know, I think I had my spiritual awakening in the county jail. Some things that had happened, you know, my first year of recovery, my mom passed. You know, I was still in treatment. I wasn't able to go there and be with her and say goodbye or anything like that. And I didn't get loaded over it, you know. It actually made me dig deeper into this deal and keep striving, because, you know, what I told her, that when I was walking out in cuffs, I really meant, you know, I knew this was my time. And my daughter, that was in foster, or had been adopted by a friend of the family. Ultimately, you know, I lost complete custody of her. I didn't get loaded over that either. And I continue not to get loaded over that, even though it's something that I really struggle with still. Yeah. And I did what was suggested, man. This is a really simple program. We make it complicated. I can make it complicated, but I just got busy with the work, and ultimately when I got through the steps, helping others. And that's really the basis of my entire existence today. You know, I follow the same spiritual principles and daily practices that I did my first year of recovery. And I continue to do these simple things, and I continue to get these magnificent and miraculous blessings in my life. You know, all these dreams that I just fantasized about, you know, sitting in prison all those years. You know, I wanted to surf so bad. You know, I always said I'm a surfer, but I just would go to the beach and get loaded while everybody else surfed, you know, because I was afraid. Or I wanted to go to concerts, and I used to say, oh, you went to all these festivals and concerts, when I really never did. You know, I was always getting loaded in the parking lot, or I never even made it, you know. And now today I go to shows, and I wanted to travel, and I never been anywhere other than around state of Florida in prison, or, you know, to Chicago or to New York to score heroin, you know. Just I never did anything that was pure and honest, you know, and without being completely loaded. And, you know, these are the things I do now. And I don't know. And what's most important to me is my connection, which I continue to seek out my higher power on a daily basis. I always ask for guidance, and I ask more for more to be revealed. And I always ask, how may I please be of service to anyone that's in need, not just anybody in the program, but just any human being in general. And there's magic. There's magic in these practices. There's magic in the steps that I took in the fellowship that I attend. But there's also like the freedom that has come from accessing this power and practicing these spiritual, you know, my spiritual practices on a daily basis, you know, I have a freedom that I never thought I could have. And I'm not talking about a freedom that is gained through having a home or having a car or having a business or anything like that. I'm talking about that internal freedom where, you know, my happiness, my joy is not based on anything external today. It is only based on my connection and how I can be of service to anybody that's in need. I am present today, you know, in a way that I can never really conceive of. My dad, who was really struggling through my mom's loss and still is today, you know, asked me, please, Nate, come home. And so I left Ocala about a year after I got out of treatment. And you know, I've been helping my dad ever since, you know, so I'm making amends to him every day. You know, I've been able to like start a business. I've been able to, you know, I was just sharing about this today, man. I like the friends that I have today have become my family too. You know, they're I can't even emphasize enough with words the importance of finding your tribe and connecting with them, and it's to me, they're manifestations of who I believe in, and the ability to have somebody like that continuously in your life. It's, you know, because I was always alone, you know, that I was always alone, even, you know, when I had people around me. And today I don't have to be that way. You know, I am constantly surrounded with love and support and friendship and you know, and when I choose to be alone, I'm okay with that too, because you know, I'm connected, and I have this defense. You know, they preached a lot early on, like, you know, you need a defense against that first drink or a defense against that first drug, you know. And what I've discovered is, you know, that doesn't change. But today I need a defense against, you know, my ego or my insecurities, or I need a defense against my self-worth issues, which I still struggle with. I need a defense, against myself, because, left to my own devices, I'm gonna go back into my head. I'm gonna start questioning myself. I'm gonna start questioning my self-worth, and it can get really ugly really quick. I don't know how else to say it, man. This program, these people, this God of my understanding has completely transformed my life. It took somebody that has spent 14 years in prison, that overdosed over 20 times, that was completely counted out, and given me, like, said, here's another chance to live. Like, who gets this chance? I'm telling you, the people in these rooms, in this recovery process, we are afforded like the opportunity to completely rewrite our entire existence and find our purpose, which is to help people just like us, so we can, keep this money train rolling. I'm telling you, man. I'm just constantly blown away and humbled and just really grateful for everything that happened, because it gave me my purpose. It afforded me the experience that I can bring to somebody today and help save their life. And I'm grateful for all the growing pains and recovery. I'm grateful for, my God, of course. I'm grateful. And then I'm ultimately grateful for my people and my fellowship, because without them, I would have been dead. You hear it all the time. And then, but here I am, I'm completely, completely present, available for anyone that's seeking out help, and willing to go to any lengths to provide that help, because there's countless amount of people were there for me when I needed it, even if I didn't want it. So I guess I talked longer than I was meant to. So that's the consolidated version.
Well, Nate, you can't just, compact it all in this 20-minute, deal you wanted, man,
Or no, he said 10 minutes.
I know. I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, you have too much good stuff to share to compact even into 20 minutes.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I did this, that, and it. Goodbye.
Not a chance. I knew it.
Yeah. Let me put this. There we go. There we go. All right.
Well, can I say one congratulations? And I know you're going to go into the comments.
No, yeah, please.
Our buddy Bandana Joe. Joe put a comment on here saying that he had 7 months. So, man, congratulations, Joe. I got to see him in person when we were in Ocala. I haven't seen him in a while, and he looks great, man. I'm just proud of you, brother.
I had breakfast with him this morning.
Oh,
I'm trying to find him.
no, we can't.
It's there somewhere, but I just didn't want to forget about it, and I wanted to make sure that I told him, congratulations.
There it is.
There it is, man. Congrats, Joe.
Yep, and we do have. Let's see, we got Amber. She's 3/18/22.
Oh, Flint.
And
Michigan girl here.
Flint, Michigan. We got Jessica's got 2/2/2020. Oh, yo, yours.
That's a
my wedding
banger of a date.
That's my wedding date. That is an amazing date right there. I would hold on that. Yo, that'll keep you freaking clean and sober. I'll tell you right now.
The date.
Don't forget, in case you ever want to relapse, that's Justin's wedding day. So
Yeah, don't ruin it.
Don't do it.
Listen, certain numbers, like my date, 316. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things that make you just stick to it.
Listen, I'm a huge believer in those numbers and those angel numbers, so I get it.
Yeah. So, and you know what, guys, we've been we rolled out this new thing, the stars, sending stars, and like I don't know what it was about, so we just add things. And you guys are awesome because you send stars. That supports us. That gives us the, we keep this thing going because of that, and I think it's super cool.
We don't know what they do, but we really appreciate them.
We appreciate
Well,
it.
anytime you guys want to send stars, we appreciate them.
Yeah.
TikTok does it, and it monetizes, so you can buy them, and then if there's a creator that you like, it
Yes.
monetizes it. So that's really cool that Facebook is doing that now.
I don't know
They've
what
been doing it for a couple years. Because I send stars to a bunch of people that I follow that do shows and stuff. But yeah, anyways.
Well, you guys are all stars to me.
All stars.
Yeah.
Well, I sent 200. I don't know what it does, but I sent it.
Yeah.
None of us know what it does.
Well,
Yeah, whatever.
it's like $5 for 800 or 1,000 stars.
Okay.
So you buy them, like if you click on the button, you guys mess with it later, you'll see it gives you an option to buy thousands, hundreds, whatever.
All right.
The money that they spend goes to the creator. Sorry, Justin. I know you.
The
wanna-
money that they spend on the stars, yeah, it comes
We
to
can
our.
talk about this later.
We should
Yeah.
probably talk about this when we're not live.
Nate, doesn't matter anymore.
Anyway, Nate, man, you generated a lot of
The
stars.
real star.
Let's go into the comments though.
I am. I'm trying to. I was just trying to see exactly where I wanted to start. All right, here we go. We got Joe said, rescue, not arrested. What a relief. Thank you, Nate, for sharing your testimony. Rescue, not arrested. I love that. Is exactly what happens in this game.
Yeah.
You know,
It's perspective too.
yeah. We got Jessica James. She says, preach, Nate. Need to hear a similar story to my own. You always bring the mic drop of knowledge. I need this on the journey of life and recovery. Thank you, Jessica, for commenting. And if you guys would, if you haven't shared yet, please just hit that share button. Share this out. Nate's story is going to touch somebody tonight. We just need you to share it. We got Dustin. It says, I freaking love you, Nate. You instill so much hope in my life. Every time I get to hear you speak, even on nights like tonight when I'm not really feeling it, something you say always gets through.
Nate has that impact on people.
He does, even if you don't want to hear it. Okay, Nate. I'll do it. Let's see. We got Brandy says, old timers keep saying, if you want what we got, you got to do what we do. Got to put recovery first and put in the work. That's the truth. We got Edith says, you'll struggle with your daughter your whole life. Stay strong, stay sober. One day she'll ask, trust me, will be worth saying I stayed sober.
Amen.
Speak into existence. We got Rach. It says, thank you so much for your story. It's so very close to my own. You are an inspiration. The greatest gift we can give to our mothers is simply to stay sober and continue to try and help someone who's still in the struggle.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. We got Veronica says, you're amazing, Nate. Thank you for sharing your experience, strength, and hope.
The amazing Nate.
We got Lisa. What's up, Lisa? Nate, you know we share a lot of the same heartache, but we get to use that today to keep moving our feet. The universe has such big plans for you, for us. We walk in faith, my friend.
Thank you, Lisa. Love you. Miss you.
Dust says real life superhero. Let's see. We got Stephanie says, great story, Nate. Thanks for sharing. Congrats and keep up your magic. We got
magical.
Yes.
We got Scotty Des is 5/23, 2016. Congratulations. You just had a celebration too. And then we got Kylene says, amazing share. I can relate to not having your kids because of my addiction, but I've got her back now.
Beautiful.
Back home now. Almost 2 years clean. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So now the floor is y'all's. You guys want to drop it on Johnny?
All right, I'll go.
Nate?
So yeah, it's crazy, man. We talk about this all the time. We talked about it the other day, but it's when you said we weren't pillars of the community. It's amazing, man. Like you said, some of the most important stuff is that we're present today, and there's moments that I missed for 20 or 30 years, even 20 years we were together doing our crap. And I was thinking the other day, I was thinking today, actually, because of your anniversary, that somewhere around back in 2000, I was about 24, you were 21, and I died and you revived me at Kim's house, right?
Yeah.
And from then all the way until, I got sober, we lived in that mayhem, dude, on the dark side, trailer park, trash, whatever, doing whatever we had to do. And today, man, because of this process and the things that were, taught to me, taught to you, taught to all of us, man, this life that we get to live is just, it's ridiculous. And it fast forwarded me to, me and Nate had a moment, right? So I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about at this concert, and when Nine Inch Nails came on and Hurt was played, and I fucking lost it, and I started crying, and Nate grabbed a hold of me, and I'm like, this shit came full circle, man. Exactly where it's supposed to be at this moment in time, all because of recovery, you know? And then, you know, like just this past weekend, all the stuff that we get to do together as friends, as family, I'm talking about all of us too, like, you know, and it's still funny to us. We enjoy, like, Kelly and Caesar and me and Nate, we got to do that event, and I'm like, come on, do a round with me. And me and Nate walk around and we talk to the mayor, the judges, the this and that. He's like, dude, when did this shit happen? You know? And it's just, it's a normal thing in recovery. It's like a normal thing. You get well, and you mend your past, and you take it and make it your greatest asset. And that's exactly what you've done, you know? And I'm grateful to be a part of this journey with you, man. And I'm glad you made that decision when you did, because we got a lot of people to help and a lot of good things to do. So I love you, brother. You know that.
Oh, he's so. Oh my God, you made me
Dude,
cry.
Nate, man. Kelly was sitting here while you were talking, and she was kind of like elbowing me. Like, you have no idea how many parallels we have in our story. Like, I won't go through all of them, but like it's just eerily similar. And the part that hits home is that, you know, we talk about acceptance and recovery all the time, but we were practicing a different kind of acceptance when we were out there. Just I also accepted the fact that I was going to die of an overdose in the streets, or that I was going to spend the rest of my life in prison. That was my only two options in my mind. You know, recovery wasn't an option. And, you know, I sat in front of a judge with a 60-month suspended sentence that I had violated on, and was not supposed to have any more chances, and told the woman, please send me to prison. Like, we're just playing this game with you trying to put me in treatment. And she refused. The judge refused to send me to prison. That doesn't happen. You know, like, stuff like that doesn't happen. And then I hear your story and I'm like this, it's insane, man. It's divine providence, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, it's the path was laid out in front of us, and our hand was held whether we knew it or not. And we were led to that crossroads. And for once, we actually walked the right path, and we didn't cut through the woods and duck and dive, man. So
Through it.
Yeah,
Through it.
it's just, I mean, you know, you're my very, very close friend, your family, but still, like, I don't know all your story, you know, and just hearing it kind of laid out like that, I'm like, holy crap, man, we went through a lot of the same crap. So thank you, man. Thank you for being you, and we love you.
We love you, Nate. I'm just going to jump in and say that. I love you so much. And, you know, I wouldn't say picky, but pretty picky with who I let into my life. And Nate just came in so fast and turned into family. And I don't think he realizes just how much I needed a friend like him. Like, I can sit around and have conversations, and he accepts my woo-woo spirituality, and he is like, I don't trust just anybody with my kids, and he has become Uncle Nate to both of my kids. And it's not just like a silly nickname. It is a true life. Our kids adore him.
They like Nate better than they like us.
They do. They want him so badly to come on vacation with us in July. They don't just like him, they love him.
Yeah.
They like talking to him more than us. They like talking to him more than their friends half the time. Shoot, he's programmed in their phones. So yeah, family. What happened, Justin?
That was scary.
Johnny, I didn't like that at all.
Johnny touched his camera again. Stop touching stuff, Johnny.
There he is. He's back. Kapoots.
Anyway, Nate, we love you so much. And I'm glad you shared that 45 minutes instead of that 10 minutes, because every time you share, I truly get something from it.
Awesome.
And that's facts.
Oh, look. There you go. Look, who's that? Uncle Nate?
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought you were pointing at somebody else.
No, that one up there.
Yeah.
Cody jumping around the background.
Oh, he's such a dick.
Yeah.
All right, we'll mute ourselves.
No, I just want to say I'm glad you shared the 45 minutes too, dude.
Yeah.
we need to hear it. We need to hear the full Nate, not the diluted Nate. You know what I mean? Like we need the whole story of Nate, the evolution of Nate. I just like that. I don't know why. I love the evolution of Nate, and I can see Nate crawling and then getting up, and then he's walking, and then he's surfing. You know what I mean? Like that's you know what I mean? That's the evolution of Nate. Like that's how I picture it in my head is like the crawling and then the getting up, and then next thing you know, you're surfing. You know. But yeah, man, I'm super grateful we met. You know, the Hope Shot brought us all together, and I couldn't be. You know, you show up when I need you to, man. Like you're there as a friend, as whatever you need to show up as, you show up as, and that's what recovery does for us, man. We get these people put in our lives, and you're one of them that shows up. You know, every time. You know, you suit up, you show up, you do what you say, and say what you do, and that's like something I can respect. And I love you, dude. You know, thank you for being here. Thank you for staying. And Tiffany.
Oh no, there she is. Yes.
Tiff.
Hi guys. Happy 4 years, Nate.
Thank you so much. I love you.
I love you too. I love Bodie. And it was fun
so
watching. It was so funny. I mean, really, I think my favorite part was truthfully watching the comments as you're telling your story, because so much of what you said resonated with so many different people at so many different points in your story. And of course, there's always that part in your story where I tear up and I cry for you, because I mean, and the unfortunate truth is so many people resonate with that two specific parts, you know, but the hardship that you've gone through to where you are today, it's really amazing that you choose what you choose to do and you make a difference in so many people's lives. So we love you.
Love you too. Thanks, Tiff.
All right. So I want to say real quick, man, before it gets to, but there's a Nerf war happening. Okay. There is some serious things going to happen. We get to bring out our inner kid. And I don't know if you guys have kids or not, but when we have Nerf wars in my house, I can't help but to get involved, you know? So there's going to be, it's recovery wars. Like we have an arsenal, like literally it's a problem, I think. But there's a recovery wars happening here in Tampa on September 4th. And it's going to be so much fun. We put it on our page. You guys can sign up. I think it's like $5 just to attend. I think it's $20 to play. And if you have a team of 10, I think it's $150, but that's in advance. So I would definitely get on there if you guys want to do it. We are gonna. I think we should need to have a. You know, Caesar said it. We need to have a Hope Shot team.
You know that's right.
I'm in.
Team Hope Shot.
Shirts and all. You know, like you know, put the freaking paint on. You know, go in this thing. You know, it's gonna be fun. So if you guys haven't seen it, go check out our page and sign up, man. If you're in Tampa area. I think it's just going to be a hell of a time, man. I'm excited.
You know,
dang, I need to move to Florida. Y'all have fun. Yes.
Yeah, we do have fun. Justin, you know, I was looking at the screen tonight and something looked different. Like you looked at extra cool, maybe a little like hard as steel. Do you have a new tattoo or something? Like it's weird. What's that on your arm? Wow, man, that is impressive.
Dude, listen, this dude fire, bro.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Caesar. That's me and my
Shout
kid.
out to Steve Johnson.
That's an actual picture of Jalen, Jason, me looking out into the water, and it's just.
You know, I didn't know that, but I can tell it's you from behind. Like I was thinking that when I looked at it. That's awesome.
Steve, here.
Was it the big butt? No, can I lie?
Dirty minds.
Oh, I just wanted you know, I could see it poking in and out, and I was like, look at that, man.
Yeah,
I give you a chance to show it off a little bit. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's super cool. Thanks, Caesar, calling me out.
Hey, Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
Oh man. Hey, Ashley.
Holy shit.
Everybody comes out for you, Nate.
Thank you so much, Ashley. We need to have you on here one time. Don't be with that bullshit.
I love it.
You heard it.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for tonight. We're at an hour. So thank you guys for being here. If you haven't yet, share it real quick. Hit that share button. Share this out. We appreciate you guys being here. And Nate,
can I say something real quick?
yes, please. Sorry.
I say I'm super grateful for anybody who commented. Anybody that didn't comment and was listening, struggling. I promise you that this life is available to anybody who truly wants it. This is not some fantastical realm that we're in. This is real life. You can absolutely have everything that we are experiencing at this moment if you make a choice and you do some work. I promise you. So we're here if you guys need us. Please reach out to us, personal message us. If you need help or you're struggling or you need some resources wherever you're at, allow us to help you because that helps us. So
Full circle.
that's it, man.
That's it. So
Love all so much. So grateful for you guys on this screen, man. Truly, you have become my family, and I get all sensitive when I think about y'all, man. It's just so grateful, man, for you guys in my life. Thank you.
We love you, buddy.
Love you, Nate. And this Wednesday, wow. I'm thinking of having addiction to success tonight. This Wednesday, we are going to have our regular scheduled addiction to success. We're bringing you another story. We're going to have Jamie on here. We're excited to have her on here.
Jamie, man.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Oh, good.
Yep. So we're going to have her on here and she's going to share her story. So make sure you join us this Wednesday, 8 p.m. live right here on the Hope Shot. Until then, love y'all. Have a good week and see you.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Bye, guys.